I know a lot of you might not have been interested in the match in a match between Ajax and Inter Milan, but it was a hell of a match. Notwithstanding the fact that Ajax does not have the clout it used to have when it comes to European football, but at the Johan Cruyff Arena, Ajax is a giant. Ajax has been very, very tough to beat at that stadium. But Inter Milan went there and got the job done. It is also interesting to note that over the weekend, Juventus did beat Inter Milan 4-3. So they were coming into this game wounded. And don't lose sight of the fact too that before the international break, they had been beaten 2-1 by Udinese. So twice on the trot, they had lost. Do you understand? And for you to challenge for the Italian Serie A or to even challenge for the Champions League, you should not be losing 3 matches continuously. And that is exactly what Inter Milan prevented when they met Ajax at the Johan Cruyff Arena. It is incredible because when you find an Italian team going away to go score 2 goals, especially in Holland and against Ajax, it just tells you how defensive they were not. Because Inter Milan has been a very, very solid team when it comes to their defensive setup. And Ajax, we all know, would never play in the defensive shape. Anytime Ajax plays football, it is an responsive total football where attacking display is on display, attacking talent is on display. But on this day, on this night, in the Champions League first round, the 2025-2026 Champions League first round, Ajax, the might of Ajax, the attacking triangle, the attacking talent of Ajax could not match the attacking talent of Inter Milan. And at the end of the day, what we saw was Inter Milan putting 2 goals past Ajax. What this simply means is that Ajax would have to work extra hard in their subsequent matches because, note, we don't have the group stages like we used to have them in the Champions League. It is now an expanded 36 clubs, play 8 matches. You've lost your first match, you have 7 matches, and the 7 matches are going to give you 21 points. So in those 21 points, how much are you going to accrue to qualify for the next round? That is the question that Ajax must be asking themselves. Because imagine if Ajax were to lose their second match. Then it means that the objectivity, the desire for them to move to the next round is going to be defeated. And notwithstanding that, they had a massive collapse last season. And for the past 2 seasons, Ajax had not had a show in winning any trophy. And for the biggest club in Holland, one of the biggest clubs in the history of the Champions League, to not have been winning trophies for the past 2 seasons, to the extent that last season they nearly won the league. By the 8th match, they were leading PSV by almost 8 points. 8 points going into the dying embers of the league, but they fluffed it for PSV to come win the league. And that is they have started the Eredivisie in fine form. They've won 3 matches. They've drawn 2. They've not lost a match yet. But it just shows you how different, how tough the Champions League is. No matter how good a team you are in your domestic conversation, when it comes to the continental stage, it's a different proposition altogether. It's a different conversation altogether. It's a different mileage altogether. And they were unstuck. They got unstuck against Inter Milan. This just goes to show that Inter has got so much firepower. Inter has got so much defensive ability and stability with them that for you to be able to beat them like what PSG did to them last season, beating them in the finals of the Champions League 5-0, you would need a much better quality. You would need a much better attacking display for you to be able to have the job done against Inter Milan. But as a supporter, as a viewer, do you think that Inter Milan can move to the semis or even the finals again like they did last season? Or they are going to get ungunned down, they are going to get to the quarters? Where do you think Inter Milan is going to get to in the Champions League 2025-2026 season? And where do you also think that Ajax would get to in the 2025-2026 season? Put your comments in the comment section as we meet for another episode.